Okay, I think we're live. Oh, once again, we're live.
Are we live?
Yes, we are.
Oh,
We
okay.
we
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Now I see it.
we
Okay.
are live.
Between the two of us, we will figure
Yes,
this
this
out one
out.
day.
Yes,
Till then, God bless Magni.
yes, and as we get going, it gets better and better. And I know I keep looking down. I'm just trying to get everything rolling so that we can get moving. We are early, folks, so we know that a lot of you are not going to be joining us right now. But if you see us, come on and join us. So that we can get the show rolling. We are going to keep this open. We're doing an early show because my co-host here is not going to be available on Wednesday, and I wasn't going to be, but my schedule has changed. So I will be on Wednesday night, but I will be on my own on Wednesday. And I'm going to try some new things as we're getting used to doing these podcasts. I'm going to try to see if maybe I can bring someone or bring, Alicia in from another location.
Do you want just to do a cutout of me?
I may do
Maybe
that.
like a nice little cutout, and then someone can like come from behind and talk into it.
Yeah, maybe we could do that. We got to think of
That
something.
wouldn't be creepy at all.
No, not at all.
No.
So as I said, we concluded we concluded grief, and we moved into talking a little bit about energetics and where we go from here. So I want to move forward with talking about energetics, and we're going to move into talking about how energy is used in our life and how we can make our lives better. And like I said, this is something that we've been talking about, for the last. I've been teaching it ever since the Touch and Eternity conference this past year, and it's something I'm going to continue to talk about. Mm-hmm. And we got some cool classes coming up that I am going to be sharing with you during this podcast. Let me see if I can find them all, because Maggie just put them on. So let me see if I can find them all. Let's see here. Well, the first event we got coming up is going to be September 28th, and that is Nacho Dead People. And that's going to be at Don Jose's Mexican Bar and Grill on the corner of Williams and Veterans.
I'm very excited about that one, and I would say we are getting into our fun season in New Orleans, so costumes encouraged.
Yes.
I want to see some beautiful floral headpieces, some Day of the Dead energy going on.
Bring your maracas if you have them.
Yes.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. So with this event, we have the back room at Don Jose's, and it's Trini and I, and it's unlimited nachos with different types of sauces. There'll be some guac, some bean and cheese. There's another kind of yes, one of those
like
things, whatever they got. Yeah, it's some different sauces, and then also the regular salsa will also be available with unlimited nachos, and they'll have a bean and cheese dip too. And so that'll be served, and then you can also order. On your own, you can order whatever drink you want, and that'll be something you'll be paid. Well, we are supplying the nachos, and you can supply your drink. And if you want to order extra food, you can order food while you're there, and the food comes really quick. And then that's why we wanted to go there, because the food is really good and it comes really quick, and it gives me and Trini time to work with you guys. And we're gonna do about an hour and a half to 2 hour demonstration of mediumship during Nacho Dead People. And so this will be a fun event. We've already sold more than half the tickets. So it's a limited seating event.
They're going fast.
They are going fast. Like day one, half of them went booming out.
Go get them. Get your costume together, and let's go.
Yes,
let's go eat some nachos and margaritas.
And if allowed, not if allowed, but if finances allow, I might even pitch in at least one tower of margaritas. I don't know. I got to see how I don't know exactly what it's all costing us, but I might even put one tower of margaritas on a table.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Or how they have those beautiful tequila bottles of glass
They
heads
do.
too.
Well, I know this place does get that. They do have the towers of margaritas, like they'll bring to your table like a tower of margaritas. So I don't know, but like I said, I got to see how the finance has got it because it is. We do have to. We are paying for a lot of the event, so and have it there. So I got to see of, what's going to happen with that. So while we're waiting for some people to check in with us, I see Magni has signed in. So I I'm going to go ahead and talk about some more events. So Nacho Dead People again, Don Jose's. The tickets are like I said, day one we sold half. Boom. And we got the other half, starting to add up as the event gets closer and closer. It is September the 29th, which is a Sunday. It's after the Saints game, so I don't want to hear that, oh, I'm going to the Saints game. It's after the Saints game, so watch the game.
So we're gonna get some good energy.
Oh yeah,
Don Jose's is what I'm hearing.
Yes, it'll be after the Saints game.
Can I get a hoot at?
Yeah, so come on out and join us for Nacho Dead People. Then let's see what we got here. Okay, so let's close that one and let's see. And I'm going to talk about that one later because this is the next class after that. And this class is going to be October the 12th. That's a Saturday from noon to 3. And I want to talk about this class because this class is what we're going to talk about tonight in our podcast. So this is the aura photo class. And it's more than just learning how to take it. It isn't about learning how to take an aura photo. What I teach in this class, it's a 3-hour class. It's $50. You're going to come to my home. You're going to get an aura photo, and I'm going to teach you how to read color. And I already started teaching Alicia because I've given her a printout from the class. And it talks about the different colors and what they mean and when to use them. And it talks a lot about, how to dress for success and when you should wear certain colors. But what you can also learn in this color is where in the photo, what am I looking at? When I'm reading an aura photo, what am I looking for? Where is the health line? Where is the crown? And what am I looking for in the crown? When I'm looking for relationships, where am I looking at that? I'm trying to see how our relationship's going. What am I looking at in that photo? What do the colors mean in the photo? And so that's the kind of things that we're going to talk about in that class. And it's a 3-hour class, and you get an aura photo, and you're going to share each other's photos, and you're going to read for each other in that class. It's really a pretty fun class, and I usually get a pretty good number of people that take it.
People love talking and learning about auras and colors, and so I'm really excited that we're talking about this tonight.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk a lot about that.
A lot of questions for you. Just get ready.
So we're going to talk about that tonight. All right. And then one of the classes that I'm very excited about, and I've been excited about this class for about 4 years, but every time that this poor man tried to come teach this class, a hurricane hit New Orleans.
Should he come again?
Well,
or do you want to invite him in December?
Well, he's coming at the end of November, so hurricane season is almost over. So I agreed to have the class. So I have, and I don't know if y'all can see this really good. It's a pendulum dowsing class, and it's in 2 parts, and it's going to be all day. It's the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and it's with George. George is the master dowser, and if anybody's ever been to my store, MRC Treasures, and they saw those really good pendulums that I couldn't keep on the shelf, that were weighted perfectly, and they moved really smooth and good, and they were the really good crystal stones. He's the guy that made them. He invented those. He made those pendulums. He is going to be coming to teach a dowsing class and we're going to have it at the old MRC, which is now called Mystique. I have rented Mystique. I had to go rent my old store back for a class. So she's going to market the class, the new owner, and I'm going to market the class. We can hold probably up to 30 to 40 students in that class.
Magni, I was thinking the same thing. So I'm trying to remember the pendulum that I got from your store. I don't know if it's one of his.
If it's one of the nice ones,
Yeah,
it's his.
well, I don't know if it is or not. I know I love my pendulum and I use it every day.
I can show you one.
And
His. I have one in the
okay,
other room. So
there's many mornings because that's when I connect with my spirits that I'm sure my spirit guide is like, "Damn you! Why do you keep asking me this?" But I love my pendulum, so this is another wonderful
well,
class.
this is this class is in two parts. It's a beginner part, and the class is 125, and it's like 75 is the beginner part, which is the majority of the morning from like 11 to about 3. And then there's like an hour and a half lunch, and you come back, and he's got a class that's called the Chi. And in this class, he gives you lots of handouts. He gives you lots of charts and diagrams to use with your pedal to help you guide for specific types of questions. And he's going to, in that first class, he is going to look at how well you work with the pendulum. And in order to take the Chi class, you have to be able to get through the first class. Most people do, but he says if anybody doesn't, what we're going to do is you won't be able to take the Chi class, so we'll refund you $50 back, but you're going to come to my home the next day, and he's going to work with you one-on-one.
Kind of like a
right.
Yeah.
Right, at no charge. You're going to come, right, he's going to work with you one-on-one to help you if you're having trouble like getting the pendulum to move and getting it to flow properly.
It's very interesting that you say this. I bought a board recently for my pendulum because I always just kind of freestyled my pendulum, and once you calculate, what is the term I'm looking for? Calibrate. Thank you. I must have calculate. Lord knows I shouldn't do anything associated with math. So I calibrated my pendulum. And I would know when it was saying yes. I knew when it was saying no, but then I got this board and it was fascinating how it changed and it moves according to what questions I'm asking.
Oh, there we go.
No, that is not my pendulum, but I have one similar. I did personalize.
No, but do you have the ones that look like the top on it?
No. Okay, I have a moonstone because I love my moonstones.
Yeah, but he makes them with moonstone.
Okay, I have.
But do they have the tops like this?
No,
mine has weighted.
No, it's not weighted.
Oh,
I
okay.
do have a special.
You don't.
I do have a special unicorn pendant that I put on top of mine now.
Okay, so these are the ones like that he makes.
Let's show.
You can't really see them. I got to come over this way. So, yeah.
Yeah, those are nice.
Mm-hmm. They're weighted. They weighted. George is amazing. You're gonna love him when you read his bio. Read his bio. It's all on my website. So, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But this class is going to be good. It's going to be 125. It's an all day. It's an 8-hour class. It's from 11 to 7. There's one break during each class. Plus, there's an hour and a half lunch break for you to get away and kind of regroup. You do have to make it through the first class to go to the second class, but if for some reason you don't, you are refunded, a portion of that back, and but then you're invited to come to my home and meet George personally and spend some time with him one-on-one because he's going to work with you on mastering the pendulum. Because in order to do the second class, it's a Chi class. It's learning about the Chi and your pendulum and getting some special like higher up stuff. It's advanced. It's really advanced. And so you have to be able to get that pendulum to work right in order to take the Chi class. So he'll let you know. And he says most people do, but he goes, there's always like a one or two that really can't get it to move right to be able to move into the Chi portion of it. So, so what we'll do is we will definitely work with those people one-on-one the next day. Oh, hey, Daphne. How you doing, love? So I'm very excited about this class with George because I've been trying to get George here for a long time.
And
so
he can come now post-hurricane season.
Yes, because hurricane season's over.
Yes.
So he will be here. So we have a lot of energy stuff going on. So I'm really, really, really excited about that. Like, I'm really excited. And again, these lectures that we're starting with on this podcast are about energy. And so that's what I want to talk about. So we talked about grief. We talked about what it does to you. But what I want people to understand, and this is where we're going to start moving towards, is that love and happiness is something you create yourself. Nobody can make you happy. Nobody can really make you angry or sad. It's a response that we choose. And we learn those responses from our community or our family or our
or
culture
Taylor Swift songs.
or our Taylor Swift songs, right?
Yes.
Or we learn that from our own hearts, our own empathetic self. So we need to learn to control our own happiness and our own sadness and our own guilt and our own shame. So if we feel that way, it's because we've allowed ourselves, we have to learn to take control of our own responses to things. And if we have a response that catches us off guard, we need to start looking at that. And we had a class that was about to take place, and we had to cancel it because the teacher had some hardships. And so the teacher that was teaching it with me had some hardships. So we had to postpone it. It was called Voice Dialogue, which is where you get into all the personalities inside of you, and it helps you see who you are. And I felt it was a phenomenal class, which we are bringing her back, Miss Tony Bowden. So I would recommend that to anybody out there who really wants to get to learn a lot about who they are as a person. Get in, if you don't want to become an instructor, because that was the class what we were having, was people who want to be instructor of Voice Dialogue, at least go have a session done. If you want to learn about who you are, go have a few Voice Dialogue sessions and let all your personalities come out and have a conversation with them. My friend Alicia, it's in the comments down there. Girl, I'd be afraid of some of yours. She's a girl I work with. I know her.
Yeah.
Anyway,
because you work in healthcare.
Yes, I love me some Miss Alicia Andrews. But anyway, but it calls you out. It lets you know why you react to certain things in certain ways. It tells you why you get protective of certain things,
like a spiritual DSM-5.
Yeah. Yes. It really lets you know why you react to things, and it calls out all your different personalities inside of you.
That's good, because I don't think enough people do any self-analyzation enough, and that's really important to sit down when you start feeling a certain way. Why am I feeling this way? Am I indulging in this behavior, or do I need to change this?
I'll give you an example. Like, I just went out of town for the hurricane, and I was out of town by myself for 5 days. And at one point, I started to feel a little lonely because, Magni was in another country, and here I am in a place by myself for 5 days. And I said, but Sid, you chose to go here, so choose not to be lonely. So I did. Yeah. I went out, I started laughing, I started saying hello to people, opening doors for people, saying good morning, good evening, and the loneliness went right away because I started to be kind, and I started to be nice, and I started, and I felt really good. I started feeling really good again, and then, then I went and got myself a mani-pedi, and I started feeling better about myself. And so.
And then you put on some great music.
Oh, well, I was
started dancing.
Well, I was staying at Hard Rocks. I was doing that. I was doing that out in front of everybody. I didn't care. Nobody knew me.
That's one of the first things I do if I'm in a bad mood is I will put on some great music, something maybe with like a fat bass to it, that really good brassy music, and just force myself to dance. And usually by the end of it, you're feeling better. Yeah.
So you can control your mood, and you can control the energetic self that you're in. And so I try to stay away from hate. I try to stay away from anger. I try to stay away from negativity. I try to stay away from shame. I try to stay away from guilt. And if I feel guilty for something, I try to ask myself why. What is it that I've lost here? Try to when you start, if you do feel, because we're all going to have those negative feelings, question yourself. That's when you should be questioning yourself. Why am I feeling this way? And then what can I do to change that? Really, that's when you need to start analyzing yourself. And one thing I've learned, and and I'm thankful, I came from a family, and I have to say this, I came from a family where we have been poor, we have been rich, and we have been everything in between. And I can tell you that the best memories I have with my family is when we were at our poorest. That's when we helped each other. That's when we laughed with our cousins and we played and we had functions together because
everyone is sharing
right
everything at
right
that
we were
point,
sharing stuff because
yes.
we couldn't afford to do it by
Mhm.
ourselves, so everybody pitched in, and I had to stop and really think about that. you know when we had money, then we just went out and bought
Spent
some
it. Yeah,
spent it or
spent
did
it.
something to satisfy just myself and not the people around me. And I had to remember, you know that when we were poor and we couldn't afford to do something like big, we had to depend on each other to make it come together, you know because
It's
Debbie,
just
it's just, it's true. It's only been 6 months. You're still, only thing I can tell you right now is that you have to try to find. You have to find first. You have to get through the holidays,
mm-hmm.
and as they get closer, I'm going to be honest, it's going to be hard. And this is the you need the support group. And that's why we had the grief group. And I would say you have to build a circle of friends, and that's why I'm going to continue with the grief support group. I say stay in that, and it's the
so
first
recent.
right. It's still very recent.
It's very recent. You haven't even gone through a
Right.
year cycle yet.
Right.
I would write him every night. Write him a letter every night.
Right.
Tell him about your day.
Talk about your day and learn that he's still. You have to understand he's still there, but you just can't touch him. You can't feel him. You can't. His energy is all around you, and it's up to you to keep him alive. It's up to you to keep his energy flowing, his energy active, his energy moving. His physical shell is gone. That's not ever going to change. And that's hard. And I know the holidays are going to be very tough. And it took me, and that's why I can't, that's why it's very hard for me to answer this to you, because it's only been 6 months. It took me years from between my mom's death and my dad's passing was 1988 to 2023. And that's when I finally noticed the difference in how I felt about the passing of someone close to me.
One of the women that was in the grief class on Saturday said something
that might have been Debbie was there.
She's very concise about it. Very beautiful how she phrased this, and just said, when you experience deep grief in your life, you have to not let grief build around your life. You have to learn to build your life around the grief.
And Trenny shared something today that was really important too, Debbie, when she said something that, to this effect, was grief is not about necessarily just about loss, but grief is also about love, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Because the grief you're in, the deep grief you're in, is also saying the deep love you had for your son, because grief and love are hand in hand. The deep depth of your grief is because of the amount of love and compassion and soul that you shared with this person. So you have to focus more on the love than the loss, because remember, what I tell everyone, love and life are eternal. I mean, that's what mediumship is all about. Love and life are eternal. You can take those with you. And that's why in these podcasts, I'm trying to get people to turn back away from pettiness and anger and all that, and trying to get them back into the love phase, because that they can take with them.
Pink.
Pink.
Wear some pink. You gifted me with this lovely piece of paper.
I did.
Several sets
so
of
you
paper.
Can study.
So we can study, and then we digress about colors and about using colors and wearing colors in your life. And that was something that I read, to wear pink when you're feeling maybe sad, or you need to feel that love and you are needing to embrace that.
Right. And again, it's important to put positive people in your core group around you to keep the negative away from you. And again, we grew up in Southern culture, and it has a lot of negativity around us. I mean, we were told to be silent when we were kids. Guys were told not to cry. We were told all this stuff, and we were told we should be seen and not heard. I mean, there was a lot of things that were pumped into our minds. And the one thing I want us all to remember, we can't really complain about the children of today because guess who raised them? Us. So if you're complaining about the kids today, we raised them.
I just want them to not cut me off when I'm driving. I just have a simple request.
Hi, Tian. I hope your cat gets better. She had her little cat had an issue. Went blind today.
Oh,
yeah.
Her kidneys.
No, her blood pressure. Yeah, maybe.
Because most cats, they'll have kidney issues.
The cat was like 21, I think she was saying. Her cat was elderly. Anyway, so again, positive thoughts, putting positivity around you. Talking to your son, Debbie, is really important too. Talk to him every day. I talk to my mom every day. She's been dead since 1988. I talk to her every day. It may just be a couple of words. It may be I say a prayer with her, but every day I speak to my mom just as if she's there. Sometimes I'll hear her voice. Sometimes I just hear my voice. But remember what I told you, even when you hear your own voice, that's your higher self connecting to them and them speaking to your higher spirit, and it sounds in your voice. It's still coming from them. So remember that, okay? That's right. Oh, Tian, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that.
Music just came on. I'm curious to know what music. What music, Daphne? What music just came on?
She'll let us know. Anyway, so with saying that, let's talk a little bit because we got this aura photo class coming. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to talk a little bit about color and bringing positivity back into your life. So everybody knows about the colors of energy, correct? Oh, Christmas music came on. Thank you.
I'm not ready for Christmas music yet.
Oh, we're ready for Halloween music.
I want some spooky Halloween music. And then you gave this to me and you were saying, look at it and see what you're wearing and the colors that you're wearing and how that can impact things. And so I work in sales. And so a lot of times if there are certain things, I have somewhat, I think of a layman's view or a light view, I guess, of wearing certain colors to influence certain things, but it is interesting the colors that we are drawn to at certain times and the reasons why. So what you're in black today.
Well, actually I'm in blue. I'm in a navy blue because I went to work today and that's what we have to wear.
What color do you find yourself drawn to wearing most?
Depends what I'm doing. So if I'm working as a medium, if I'm doing professional work as a medium, I usually like to wear red. Or it depends on the mood. Like if it's October, I wear pink because it's breast cancer awareness month. So it just really depends.
I see you in red a lot. So that, but then it's usually I see you working a lot. So that would.
And work, in work, I wear navy blue, which I'm in right now. Or just deep midnight blue is what we wear. And that's the nursing color. So that's what they make us wear.
You know what's weird? So when I worked in human health care, all of my scrubs, I would buy tons of Fig scrubs. Thanks, Figs, for the debt. But they are amazing scrubs. You've seen them. And all of my scrubs were in shades of pink or red because I really wanted to kind of make myself stand out as that I wasn't going to be in like the gray or bluish scrubs. I wanted that hot pink. And Figs, I'm not trying to do like any product promotions, but for October, they really do put out some great scrub colors.
Okay, I'll have to go check those out, but I have to stick to what they have colors for us to wear. But anyway, so back to auras and energy and stuff. So we got the aura class coming. You need to know the colors of the aura, and what are they? The colors of the rainbow. If you ever want to know the order of the colors, remember the guy's name, Roy G. Biv. That's how you remember them. Did you know about Roy G. Biv? You didn't know about Roy G. Biv?
No, it doesn't.
You won't forget Roy G. Biv after tonight.
I don't think I will.
You know why? Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, blue, indigo, violet. Those are the chakra colors from down
That
to up.
makes sense. That makes
That's
total
Roy G.
sense.
Biv.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, okay, good question that I just, or
Okay.
at least I think it's a good question.
So now you'll never forget them.
No, I'm not. Roy G. Biv.
Roy G. Biv.
Biv.
Biv,
Okay,
V-I-V.
Biv. What color do you see the most consistent when you're reading auras?
When I'm reading auras, the most consistent color, is, and especially in this area, well, so mostly in this area is yellow and orange, and this is why. So not only, and this is interesting, and hear me out with this. So I find that people and their countries are in common with colors. So countries have auras. Did you know that?
No, but that makes sense.
So like America is a fairly new country. It's only a couple hundred years old. So we're right now in a red-orange phase. Hence why we have all the stuff that's going on. Orange is the color of emotion, and red is the color of high energy and emotional energy, trauma, all that's going on right now in our country, right? What makes perfect sense? We're a new country.
True.
Okay? You look at countries like India or Egypt, you know, things that are very ancient. They're purple.
More that golden.
They're more purple.
I picture
and but if you look at their chakra colors, they've been around so long. They're more in purples and whites, golds, those colors. Because gold's even above it's white gold.
Yeah.
So, but you're looking at Roy G. Biv. Roy G. Biv makes white light.
Roy G. Biv, okay.
Roy G. Biv equals white.
Okay, Roy G. Biv went up even higher in Egypt.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, good
so
deal.
it goes up even higher. White and gold's up even higher.
Okay.
So, because that's high spiritual is white gold. Okay, so you look at those very spiritual countries, and they've surpassed. But if you even go back centuries, like even into Italy, remember when they used to have the Roman gladiators?
Yes,
that's when they were in their red
peak.
orange. That's when they were in their red orange phase.
Ah.
And you look at developing countries, and you can follow through their chakra phases. And then if you take us and go look at where we are and look at our years, you can look at you can kind of understand why we're going through what we're going through.
And it's interesting that you say that, because when I think of as you're describing like the Greek and Roman times when they were at their pinnacle, I would think, oh, this they've got to be like pure white gold at this phase, but no, they're not, because they're still because they're still developing. They're in their passion,
right
in their
now.
Creative passion.
Now, I think they're probably in. I would say that right now they're probably more in their. I would probably say I think they're in their bridge phase right now. I don't think Rome is spiritual yet. I mean Italy. I'm saying Rome, but I'm thinking Italy is not so much in their spiritual phase yet. I kind of think that they might be in their creative phase still. Their solar plex, the yellow.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe going into that bridge where they're trying to move spiritual, where maybe like India, a lot of Asian countries are in that spiritual phase. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Some of them in different portions of that. So it just depends on their ages.
But in Louisiana, you see a lot of orange and yellow.
Orange and yellow.
Which is
throughout. I mean, you see a bunch of everything.
Yeah.
But the primary, and again, and depending where we are. Like if I'm at a psychic fair, I get a lot of psychic colors.
Okay.
You know, and another thing that's cool too, when we do friends, sometimes friends will share the similar colors. Because they're friends, they hang out, they share energy.
The common bond of the 5 people that you're,
right, they'll share energy.
I've been meeting, and this is going to sound so funny, and how I just realized it's going to come across. I've been meeting a lot of green men lately.
Oh, aliens!
Aliens, yes.
They're not Haitian. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I've been meeting.
That was a joke.
And they're not little green men, because Lord knows I need someone over 6 feet. But I have been.
So anxiety is going to be, you want to stay, don't wear red if you're anxious, stay away from red. But it also, anxiety comes from wearing, it's red, so that's the color that you want to stay away from, because it's a negative red, is anxiety. But you should be wearing blues, blues calming. You should wear aqua
I just think teals.
or teals and
Yes,
aqua.
I love
that
teals.
that
So
pinks.
pinks, I love pinks for
But
healing.
that pinks heal, but pinks also can. You have
It
to wear
has to
more
be
of
a soft,
a soft
yeah,
pink,
yeah,
because
yeah.
some pinks can. It's because pink's got red in it,
Mhm.
and it's red and white.
So back to my green man situation. So
Yes.
this is interesting too. I saw an aura over the weekend that was like a milky green, and I've never seen when they're like infused and like muted
So that
and
had that. So those
soft.
have that sometimes has meaning. I'd have to see what kind of milky it was. If I'm reading a photo and it looks milky, that usually means there's some drama in there.
Drama.
Yeah.
Me finding drama?
Yeah,
That's
you.
crazy. No way.
Yes, you. Yes, you.
So yeah. But I've met a lot of orange, a lot of fire people too in the city.
Lots of, what do you mean? Lots
Like
of
fiery, lots of like
oh.
orange, red.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of orange. We got a lot of orange and red in the city.
Yes.
And a lot of it, and again, it changes. And these are not, when we do an aura photo, it's not your core aura. It is your exterior. It's more exterior aura energy. It doesn't get into that core.
Mm-hmm.
But now when they do the measurements on the more expensive one that you can buy, we'll get into like the core
Okay.
things. But I tell people, just if you know, unless you
Now,
really want to get into a deep reading, you just want to get just the photo and
can it change from day to day, or is
change minute to minute.
well, yeah, but like your primary colors, like
So one thing we offer at a lot of events is you'll come get an aura photo from us, and then you go get a healing and come back after the healing and see the change.
chakra cleanse. Okay.
Yeah. And
So you're obviously indigo, and
not always, because I'm a nurse, so I got a lot of greens and blues, and sometimes I'm red, and sometimes it just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Really, because I do so much. And actually, when we were building the center, when we were creating the center, I was the only one that took a photo had no aura. I had zero.
What does that mean?
I was pooped. I was tired. My
Okay.
energy was
drained.
Was drained.
Okay.
I was like, they took my photo. Everybody had a beautiful. I said had zero because I've been working all day. The absent of aura because I was.
I have no
tired.
aura to give you right now.
I have no strength left to give you.
Yes. Well, that can
So,
happen.
so, like I said, the main focus tonight is, guys, I want you to understand that we're talking about energy, but your energy is changeable by you. And I need you to understand that.
That's right, Tina. He was.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, can everyone
Yes.
see auras, or do you need to have?
So everybody can see an aura, and I can teach them how to see an aura, but everybody can't see the color. But I can show everybody how to see an aura. Sometimes people have to feel the color. Sometimes they have to sense the color. But I can pretty much show people how to see an actual aura. And there are two ways. I can have you look at a tree for a minute, and you can see the aura around a tree. Those are very easy to see usually. Or if I get up and teach against a flat wall, you can see the aura around me. Those are usually very easy to see with the naked eye. Now it just looks like a white light around me or around the tree. But then you have to go in and close your eyes and sense the color. And that's what I used to have you learn, to sense the color. So, I mean, again though, folks, knowing about auras is fine, but I want y'all to start taking it personal. I want you to start looking at who you are as a person. I want you to start creating your lives and making them happy. I've been doing this journey now probably since maybe June of last year, 2023, like probably after my heart attack, when all the angels stepped in and saved me. So that might have been a couple years now. It's when I really first started to tweak it a little bit more. And I've been adding more and more and more to it. And I can tell you that I am a different person. It's what focused me on getting rid of the center. It's what focused me on doing more for myself. It's what focused me more on, helping Magni get more back on his track. And no, he didn't beat me up. That's from
I beat you up.
She beat me up.
You're not going to push me out of the screen this time, Sid.
No, I'm not.
One of the things you talk about too, and getting back on track and getting yourself happy into where you want to be is color wrapping.
Right.
And wrapping, because I'll wrap people in colors. And then how about wrapping yourself in colors too, especially in this city for protection purposes.
Right. I tell people all the time. I've had people. I know people who actually go out and get they call chakra blankets, and they got colors of each chakra color in a blanket, like a little throw, and they'll go home and they'll wrap themselves in it in a throw, and just. I also have people do different color mud baths or sand baths.
I do a lot of those.
You know, and
salts,
right, or salts. Yeah, they do. I got people all kind of stuff. But guys, first step is recognition. You know, that is the first step. The first step is recognizing that you're unhappy. Because that's the hardest thing to do, is to admit to yourself that, hey, I'm unhappy. Hey, Alfonso. First is admitting to yourself that you're unhappy. The second thing is understanding that you're in control of that unhappiness. And then asking yourself, remember to tell you about fear when I talked about fear and talked about what fear does to you and what it does with the brain and the blood to the brain. When you get fear, all the blood rushes to the back of the head.
The chart that is.
So to get the blood to move back to the front of the head, so that you can think clear doing fear or if you're scared or negativity, you ask what and how questions. How can I address the fear? What do I need to do? And you ask those questions, and that moves the blood from the back here by the amygdala. It moves the blood from back there back forward and gives you solutions. So then the fear goes away. It subsides. That helps you with anxiety. It helps get rid of those things. It gives you a plan.
So wrapping in color during those moments would be a great way to take down that fear.
Right.
And I like to wrap in pink and lavenders is my favorite color wrapping of choice.
Okay.
Do you have one that you normally like to?
I usually find someone to wrap in, but that's just me. You know,
we can't all be you.
I know. Because I like to feel. So that's the difference. I like to feel someone's strength or someone's energy. So, and I'm not an energy vampire because I don't take, but I like to surround myself with positive people.
That's an extrovert then.
Right. I like to surround myself around positive people. I like to be around people who appreciate me and don't talk, crap to me. Somebody does, then I walk away and I let them be who they want to be. And that's why I'm telling people, I'm telling you out there, put a good support group around yourself. That's why we have the grief class. That's why we had the grief class last Saturday. And I'm going to have another one in October. I haven't scheduled it yet, but I will have one in October as well, where we will get together and, hey, Chris, where we will get together and we will talk about next steps. Like, what do we do now? We got the group. Now what do we do? We have to support one another. Okay. We have to show support. If someone's having a bad day, make that call. Reach out to that friend.
Let's see if Tina wants to know your zodiac sign.
I'm a Leo Cancer. I'm on the cusp of Leo. I'm Leo, but I'm on the Cancer cusp.
Can you believe it, Tina, that he's a Leo? No one would have ever thought.
Who would have thought? Yes, I'm a Leo on the Cancer cusp. So I do care. I'm a Leo care. And I'm married to a Leo on the Virgo cusp.
So what about your moon signs and all of that?
I don't know. The only funny thing that I can tell y'all about my astrological chart, and it is funny because it is funny. There's two wild things about my chart. One is that my chart is the exact chart of Madame Blavatsky. If y'all know who Madame Blavatsky is, she is the founder of the New Age. So look her up. If you don't know who she is, my chart is the exact copy of her chart. What is also very funny about my chart,
Magni.
I know, Magni, I saw the face she made. What's also funny about my chart is that my My finger of God, which is your north node, is called the finger of God, is right in my Uranus. But anyway, it is. Would you figure that?
Never in a million years.
Never in a million years, right?
Do you know my zodiac sign?
What?
Do you know it?
No.
Okay.
No, probably. I did go Taurus or Sagittarian, but.
Oh my God.
You
good.
Taurus?
Taurus.
I say Taurus or Sag is what I would have given you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you read people or something.
Well, I do read people.
Yeah.
That's my job. So anyway. But it's also cool about my chart, not only because my north node is in my Uranus, which is like I said, but that because it's like Madame Blavatsky was married to a Norwegian man many years younger than her. Well, guess what? So am I. I didn't know any of this until I had an expert read my chart, who told me all this, who crossed my chart with other charts and stuff and ran it through a computer.
That needs to happen, I think, more commonly with people. It needs to be more readily available because that is such a neat concept.
Right. So that was really cool. I didn't know that. So that was something that was very, 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 very cool to find out. So, except for that finger of God thing.
I like that story, but someone can't make that up. Someone's like, let's pull a joke on this man.
If you look at my chart, it's right there. It's right in there. But anyway, so
he's got a sense of humor.
Yeah, well, you have to in this line of work.
Yep.
So, guys, so again, I want to stay on focus. So, to answer your question, which now I hope we answered it.
We answer a few questions as we go. That's part of our lovely repertoire.
I hope I answered it.
Yes.
But, your mood and your happiness is dependent upon you. And as we get closer and we continue to talk about energetics, I'm going to go into healing with this conversation when we meet soon. We're going to talk more about healing and how to get rid of past trauma. There was a lady on TikTok recently who did she didn't show a diagram. She actually did a presentation where she was trying to show how energy works. And so I kind of want to show y'all that, but I really don't want to copy it because I kind of think that's I don't want to copyright something.
Yeah, I think you'd put your own spin on things.
Right. I kind of tell you what she did. So when you're born into this world, you're born with, like, if I had a beaker full of water and the water's clear, that's your energy. It's clear. You're born in this world with clear energy. There's nothing tainting your energy. And as your family and your friends and your community traumatizes you, you would take some beads and some clay and you drop it into the water, little balls. It would start filling that clear water with space. Some would float, some would sink. The real bad traumas in your past would sink to the bottom. The more recent traumas would float to the top, right? And then when you get into a relationship and they do something to you that kind of is traumatic, it's like if somebody took a spoon and stirred all those bottom ones up and all that trauma surfaces to the top.
That's a great analogy.
And so what happens when you go get a cleansing from like a good Reiki healer or a good energetic healer, it's like they get in there with a spoon while it's stirring and they scoop some of those beads out. And you're trying to get rid of some of that trauma. So that's when EMDR therapy comes into play. So if you have some trauma, I would probably recommend getting with a good clinician and get some EMDR therapy that will help you with some post-traumatic stress issues. So there's several in several major cities. You can probably find a clinician that does EMDR therapy. I highly recommend that. I also I do free consultations. You can book an appointment with me, Google Meets, which you could just schedule through my website. Call my number on there. My scheduler will schedule you a 30-minute consultation. We can talk about different things I can recommend to you to help you cleanse and get rid of some trauma. We can talk about that. I do not do readings during those consultations. I'm not going to I'm not going to read your future. I'm not going to talk to your dead people. I'm not going to do any of that kind of stuff.
That's what Not Show Dead People is
Right. Yeah.
for.
If you want to go see Not Your Dead
Not Show
People,
Dead People.
that I'm going to talk to your dead people. Okay. So, but if you want to just talk about your spirituality, if you want to talk about if you're having some issues with grief and you just need someone to talk to, I don't charge for that. Okay. You can book an appointment with me. If you came to my grief group, you can message in the Facebook chat, or you can message on me on Messenger. If I'm free, I will talk to you. If you're having a hard day, and if I am available, I will talk to you. I do not charge for that. That's how I give back. Okay, folks? That's what I can do for you. Okay? I am available to all of my clients. Whenever I have a moment that I can, I will talk to you. I will not let you hang. I had one of my grief clients the Saturday before the class having a really rough time, and she messaged me, and I was free, called her up and helped her through her day, and she went to a concert that night by herself, had a wonderful time, and helped her move forward. And thank you, Afonso. Love you, man. So, what's Tian say?
We can heal trauma that has originated by the conflict between.
Yes, they can. Tian is one of the best Reiki masters in the city. In fact, if you're going to learn Reiki, that's who you go to. Tian in the city, because she's the best. She's the one that's been doing it the longest and has the best, highest recommendations. Most of them that do teach it have learned it from her. So I'm just going to tell you, if they're in the city.
You said something once about Reiki that was interesting too. How mediums, that's already something that you have, though.
Right.
Because you're channeling the energy.
Right. If you're a working medium, you're already channeling energy. But if you want to learn specifically Reiki,
okay,
like you want to learn the Reiki technique and not just healing, there's where you want to go, right there. That lady right there, Tian.
Okay. Good to know.
She's the one who's trained most of the teachers that are teaching it in the city right now. Ain't that right, Tian? She'll tell you. She's been around for years. She brings in people from Japan and from over there to
the more spiritual. The more spiritual.
Yeah, she'll bring them in. Yeah, she's brought them in to teach, and she's taken people there, brings them here. She's done all kinds of wonderful things.
Is Japan purple?
Is Japan? Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It's been around a while. It's very highly spiritual.
Yeah, that's what I kind of pictured. Because you can just, when I picture Japan, I can hear the music in my mind and bells.
They've been around a long time.
Yes.
They've obtained the high chakra. So again, we talked about chakras and colors, just wrapping things up because my partner here has things to do. So we're going to wrap up. So we talked about chakras and colors. We talked a lot about taking control of our lives and not letting other people tell us what to do and how we should live. We determine that for ourselves. And that's hard for some people. It's a lot harder than it sounds.
It's realizing that you do have a lot more autonomy than what you realize. And that's something I struggle with a lot. And I think a lot of people do too, just in general, realizing, wow, you really can do what you want in a positive way and choose to be positive with what you do.
Right. And so you have to make that decision, and you're in control of your own happiness. And remember what I'm telling you, there's only two things you're going to take to the grave with you: memories and love. That's it. There's no money coming with you. No families coming with you. No friends are coming with you. No cars, gifts, nothing. But the love in your heart, love and life are eternal. And any medium who has spoken to the spirit can tell you that. It's the only thing that goes to the other side. And it's the only thing that crosses into the dimension. When you transition to that dimension, that is the only thing, is that energy of love and that energy and the energy of life. That's the only thing that makes it across to the other dimension. So people learn to love. Learn to love so that you can make that cross and be in one with the rest of your family and that has passed before you, and see those people again, and enjoy them while you're here. Talk to them, have a conversation, drink a cup of coffee, and laugh about some of the crazy stuff y'all did together. I still remember we were poor, so my mom would not let us know that. So she would take us, I don't know if y'all remember Deer Ranch in Biloxi. My mom would go get a room at the Sun and Sands Hotel on Biloxi Beach, and we would stay there for like 3 or 4 days and swim in the pool, and she would bring us to Deer Ranch in the Sea World to see the dolphins. And that, we people think that as kids, we thought that was like the thing,
The best, yeah.
the best thing. And like, you know, because we couldn't afford anything else at that point, because I think my mom was making like $45 a week at her job. Okay, I mean that's what she was making back then. You know, I mean, and that's what we did. And that's, you know, it's before my family, you know, had any kind of money. Well, my grandmother never, my grandmother, when she had money, made sure that, you know, that the family, you had to go to her, right?
Yeah.
She kept them at, she made sure that they had just what they needed and not a lot more. So, you know, it was very limited what we could do unless, you know, my grandmother was taking us somewhere, you know, so.
Then the purse strings open.
Right, right. So, you know, that's just how it was. But even when we were kids, before my grandmother even had money, but we did things like that, you know, and I can remember those were the best times of my life. And I remember.
You're making memories.
Yeah, we made memories and gone to visit with gone to the other grandmother's house who had had more kids, and those kids had kids. And so I had like a bunch of cousins over there. And we would all hang out and entertain each other while they played cards. We would all hang out for the whole weekend. And to me, that was a blast because they didn't want to even see us. So we would have the whole weekend do whatever we wanted. You know, I lived with my cousins. That was great. You know, and then that all went away, you know, because everything got divided. So again, learn to fall back in love. Share those good memories again. Okay? All right. All right, folks. We're going to sign out.
It has been a wonderful evening with you,
Yes.
Sid.
Yes.
We had a great time talking about stuff.
Yes.
And hopefully everyone else learned a little bit about colors and energy, and we'll learn more in our upcoming classes.
So I'm going to go through some of the things again that Magni has put on here, because God knows, don't know what's coming up. He's got on here. Okay, Nacho Dead People. That is going to be September 29th at Don Jose's. We've sold more than half the tickets. The tickets are going fast. If you want to go, Nacho Dead People is at Don Jose's. It's going to be Sunday after the Saints game, 6 p.m., Don Jose's. Then we got, let me close that one. And then we got, this is going to be the Saturday. This is the class I would not miss, guys. This is going to be the Saturday before Thanksgiving. This is November the 23rd from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's a 2-part class. It is going to be pendulum dowsing workshop with George, the master. He is the master guy that makes these gorgeous. How y'all like this beautiful malachite? I just want to show y'all that.
I like that.
Oh, you can't really see it. Oh, come over this
There
way.
we go.
You get it? I got to come this way. And up.
There we go.
There we go. Isn't that a beautiful malachite pendant?
Mm-hmm.
Pendulum? Beautiful.
I like that one.
It's beautiful. It's malachite. Anyway, he makes these well balanced, and I ain't supposed to tell people, but he's bringing about 50 of them, and he's going to sell them wholesale to y'all, but it's cheaper than I was able to sell them. But anyway.
I may have to go shopping.
Anyway, so the class is 125. It's a 2-part class. It's all day. You'll get an hour and a half lunch. To go off for lunch for, and there's some breaks in a break in each class. First class is the beginners. You're gonna get charts, you're gonna get handouts, just go online.
And your classes are really nice because it's wonderful. Connections are formed with people. It's a very nurturing environment. I think there's a lot of people that may be apprehensive about going to something, but it's that's how I met you, and they're really
that's
fun.
How we met.
They're very welcoming, and it's not what you would think in a positive way.
No, we have a lot of fun, and in that class, like I said, is going to be 2 parts. If most people will get through the first part, but if somebody can't, We're not going to throw you to the wolves. We will brief if you don't make it through the first part. We will refund you the second part, and you will get a free class the next day with George personally at my home.
So, but don't fail on purpose.
But yeah,
still do your
best. Because in order to take because it's a cheat class after that, it's an advanced class, but you have to be able to maneuver or work with the pendulum. If you can't get it to work right, you can't take the cheat class. But he says 90% of the people do make it. There's usually like one, maybe two who don't. He said, but if they don't, we can offer them something. And so the next day you would come work one-on-one and get that free, because you're gonna get your money back for that second class, which is it's $50 for the second class. It's $75 and $50. It's $125, but you have to pay the $125 up front, and then you get a refund if you don't make it to the second part. All right. The next class is the aura photo class. Oh,
that was all that we were talking about today.
Yes.
So yes,
the aura photo class, which is a Saturday from noon to 3. It's at my house. It's going to be on the October 12th, which is actually the next class, because I did cancel the mediumship class. It was only 2 people signed up, because you have to have 5 to sign up for the mediumship class. I had 2 returning students too, so they had already taken it. So I need at least 5 to sign up for that in order for me to have the mediumship class. And it was kind of quick. So I'm going to wait and hold it later. And I'm going to probably be going out of town for that week anyway. So the aura photo class will be that day, and come get your photo taken and come learn how to read the photos. Everybody gets a photo, everybody swaps photos, and you learn. I teach you how to read the health line, the crown, the relationship line,
and learn how to read auras and
colors.
And that's nice to see and recognize in other people too.
It is.
Yes, it is.
And let's see what else he put up here. Is there anything else up here? Oh, numerology. So yes, every Monday in November will be a numerology course. The numerology course in November. Come learn your numbers. And
I've been trying to learn my numbers.
And then, of course, the biggie is Touching Eternity. And we've already had people signing up for this. So this is Touching Eternity. The big conference is going to be June 4th to June 8th in Orlando, Florida. So come join us. This is the big one. This is where Scott Milligan, Dominic Bogue, and myself, and we have a few more teachers that are going to be there, which I will announce. I'm waiting for Scott and Dominic to get back from Spain. They're in the Canary Islands right now.
That sounds terrible.
I know.
Those poor people.
I know. They're in the Canary Islands right now. When they get back from the Canary Islands, we're going to be doing some more lives. I'll probably invite them into one of the podcasts, and we're going to talk all about Touching Eternity 2025. You don't want to miss it. So, folks, it's that time. I will see you guys on Wednesday. It might be a little bit late because that is our normal day. The reason we're doing this podcast early was because I thought I had to work a shift that Wednesday night, but they changed me to days. So I will be on Wednesday night. But Alicia,
I'm going to be playing with some animals in Mississippi.
Yes, she's got a late night shift to do.
Yes.
And because she thought I had a late night shift to do, so she picked up a shift. So, but they changed mine. So I'm going to come on and just do an extra just to keep things rolling. And you'll be hearing from us. So definitely look for us, and good night. And good night to you too, Tina. And thank you guys for joining us. And you will see these podcasts on YouTube, TikTok, pieces of it on Instagram. Like them, share them. We love you. We're going to bring you some more as time goes. There'll be more topics, more things. If you have any other topics, let us know. You can also, all these classes you can find on sid-patrick.com. Talk to you soon. Bye.